See? See, that could have been a very embarrassing moment, right, Bert? He said, oh, that's so nice. He said, thank God. He said, child, like you hug your child. That was good. But it's true, it's true. How beautiful was that, right? So he doesn't need to be a secretary. He doesn't want to be secretary. He wants to be a man that can cut costs, have you live even better. You're not going to be affected. But I think he said $2 trillion. And nobody would do it better than him, and he's going to do it very responsibly, and we have to, it's amazing that, he just wants the country. That's why he endorsed me very strongly. Elon Musk, the guy is incredible. And he endorsed me you know where he is right now? He's campaigning in Pennsylvania. He's been doing it since he landed that crazy rocket ship. Right? No, he's been campaigning. He's been campaigning in Pennsylvania since he landed the rocket ship, Think of it. You think he'd have a lot of other things, but he thinks it's the most important thing he can do. Because he knows that if we keep going in the way we're going with these people that are terrible people, that our country is finished. It's literally finished, and he knows that. And I think he's incredible. I think he's a real patriot, actually, if you want to know the truth. But I'll also make interest on car loans. This is great for Detroit, Michigan, also good for South Carolina and a lot of places that do cars. You do a lot of car parts and things. You do a lot here. But we'll make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, but only, here's a hitch, but only if the cars are made in America. If they're not made in America. That's pretty good, Marjorie, right? Good one, right? I got called from a lot of big people in Wall Street. I call them the 182 guy. You know what 182 is? 182 IQ. That's about as high as they get. And they'd call me up and they'd say, where did you come up with that idea? First of all, deductibility. Actually, when I went out with it was 2 weeks ago in Detroit. But then I said, wait a minute. It doesn't help us if we're buying a car from Japan. Why would we do the deductibility? But we'll do it if you build a car in Detroit or any place in the United States. We'll do it. So we get deductibility. You know how many cars that's going to produce? I think it's going to produce a lot, and they're going to be built in the U.S., and that's what we want. I will cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and we will end Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate, which not everybody wants an electric car. Not everybody wants them, and they're great, Elon does the best. I mean, he does unbelievable with the electric, but it's meant to be a market. There's some, I think they're amazing, but they don't go far enough. Little things like that, they don't go far enough. And they are more expensive, right? And there's a great market for them, but we want gasoline-powered cars, or we want hybrids. We don't want hydrogen. We do not want hydrogen cars because they're extremely dangerous. You're not recognizable if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong and Marjorie Taylor Greene with that beautiful blonde hair is driving down the highway in a hydrogen car, and the problem with a hydrogen car, if something goes wrong, it's like the atom bomb went off. You're not recognizable. But they say, we think we have it under control. That's not good enough. They'll say, we thought it was Marjorie Taylor Greene riding down the middle of the turnpike, but she's no longer recognizable. We found some of her. I won't say. We love her. Stand up. Marjorie, stand up. I will not let her get into a hydrogen car. She wouldn't do it anyway. We'll achieve energy independence, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to do that. We're going to get prices. And I will terminate the Green New Scam, and I will cut your energy prices in 1 year, 12 months. We're going to cut them in half, 50%, 50%. That's going to bring down everything. That'll bring down the cost of everything. We have it underground. We don't even use what we have. It's ridiculous. We get it from Venezuela. We get tar. I call it Venezuelan tar. To bring back millions of jobs, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. And it won't be that way if we don't turn this thing around right away. We won't be that big, great market, but only for those who make their product here in the USA and hire American workers for the job. Otherwise, they don't get that benefit. And if these companies don't make their product here, then they will pay a tariff when they send their product into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers. And if you look, we don't want them competing with us. We're going to keep them not competing with us. We want our companies to do great. We want our jobs to be great. We want high wages, as high as you can go within reason. And we're going to protect those companies, and we're going to protect those workers. We're not going to have these companies stolen and everybody loses their job. Won't happen. Won't happen anymore. Because the word tariff to me is the most beautiful word in the entire dictionary, okay? But we have people that, I don't know, they're either stupid or they're crooked. They don't want to let you use that, but we use it. We used it. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Hundreds of billions. I would say they're not thrilled with me. Do you think they're thrilled that I'm leading in the polls? I don't know. You never know. Although I like China, and I like President Xi. He's a fierce individual, very fierce. But he's a good, he loves China. He wants to take care of China, but I want to take care of the United States of America, right? And we'll also pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, meaning if China or any other country is charging us 100 or 200% tariff or tax, then we will charge them 100 or 200% tariff or tax in return. In other words, it's an eye for an eye. And when that happens, everything will just go away. And I will never apologize for defending America. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our families. You know, my people ask me, please don't say that, sir. It sounds so horrible. What was it? I said, I'm going to protect the women in this country. They said, oh, please, sir, don't say that. Don't say that. I said, why? It's true. I'm going to protect them from migrants coming into our country that killed 7 people. You have them coming in. One supposedly killed 11 people. I'm going to protect them from having people come into our country and do damage to a woman or the family of a woman or anybody. And I think it's fine to say, I will protect the women of this country and the men of this country, and I'm going to protect everyone. They said, please, sir, please don't say that. I think, okay, ready, women. Should I not say that? Ready? Maybe they're right. I don't think so. Should I say, I refuse to protect? I refuse to protect women. Okay. No, okay. I will protect the women of our country. Guess that settles that. I guess that settles that, right? All right. We're going to protect everyone. And I will protect the birthright of our children to live in the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. And as we rescue our economy, I will also restore our borders. Over the past 4 years, Kamala Harris has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted on our people. She is a disaster. She is a disaster. You just ask Border Patrol, they'll tell you she's a disaster. She doesn't know what the hell. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border, and unleashed an army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens. And we're not going to let it happen. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions, from all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo. Oh, Congo. They're sending a lot of their people because, you know what? They don't want to take care of them. They're sending them here. We have a lot. They come out of Congo prisons. But they come from Africa. They come from the Middle East. They come from a lot of places. And, of course, they come from South America. The jails all over the world are being emptied into our country. And only bad can come out. And if you look at some of these countries, crime rates are down 50, 60, 70% because they're taking their criminals and they're releasing them into the United States of America. We're a dumping ground. And she has resettled them into your communities to prey on really innocent American citizens. They didn't buy into this. The American public is outraged that Kamala is importing savage criminals who assault, rape, murder our women and our girls. I'm sorry to say that. But that's what's happening. Anyone who would let monsters kidnap and kill our children does not belong anywhere near the Oval Office. No, you have to protect our children. And nobody's seen this before. This is the first, and I wanted to do it because it's a special place for me. It's so many good memories, but it's a special place, a very important place, and it's a very important state. And winning this state, we win this state, we win the whole ball of wax. So this is the first time we've shown it on the screen. So today I want to show America, and I want them to hear directly from a mother whose world has been absolutely shattered forever by Kamala's open border program for idiots to import illegal aliens and gang members into our communities. And I will tell you this, it's the first time I watched it. It's difficult to watch. I will tell you that. I saw it on the plane coming in. It's very difficult to watch, but it's so true. It speaks 1,000 words. Please take a look.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning first to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends.
Yeah. We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
We begin with two men we're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
Apprehended, then released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death. The men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence.
Kamala Harris was in charge of immigration in our borders. If we had better border policies and not open borders and not these catch and release policies, I truly believe this all could have been prevented. Under her being vice president of this country, my daughter's life was ripped away from her. She had her entire life ahead of her.
Happy birthday, dear Jocelyn.
My daughter is 6 feet in the ground based off of policies that she allowed to keep. Kamala Harris did have one job, and she not only failed, not me, she failed my daughter. She failed Jocelyn. She was only 12. President Trump reached out, gave me his sincerest condolences as not a former president, but just as a father, someone who cares. I believe Donald Trump needs to be back in office. I can at least know that my next child will be safe in this country.
And I got to know the wonderful mother of Jocelyn and a wonderful woman. This is just terrible. And this is happening all over our country. This is happening so many. We have so many. You know the names. You know the names. And we have to stop it. We can't let this go. It's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse. They're also now used to being in our country. You know, it takes a little while for them to get used to it. And it's getting worse. That what they're doing to our country is horrible. And they're not going to do anything about it. The radical left lunatics, they're not going to do anything about this. And this is, you know, Lakin Riley. It's from your community. This is happening all over our country. And it's so sad. When I saw this, it's so sad. But I just, that is a really good woman. So I got to know her a little bit the other day. And we got to stop this. We got to stop it. We got to be smart. We can't let this continue to happen to our country. Thank you very much. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. We have to restore our country. We've got hundreds of thousands of these people, hundreds of thousands. The savages charged with brutalizing and murdering precious Jocelyn are members of the same vicious Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua, that is taking over apartment complexes in Colorado and other places and unleashing a violent killing spree all over America. They were also linked to a brutal murder here in Georgia of a brilliant young nursing student, and you know who that is. Just take a quick look at this. Just look at this.
Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies?
Do you regret terminating it, given that migration has increased in the wake of that, and are you considering reinstating it, working with Mexico to do that?
Failing to pass and fund this comprehensive plan has increased the challenges that we're seeing at our southwest border. No one knows this better than the Vice President.
The entire world is showing up here at our doorstep. They're crossing illegally, and they are expecting to get released here into the United States.
A group of men walking up a stairwell at the Edge Lowry apartment complex in Aurora. All of them appear to be carrying rifles and handguns, and the video shot earlier this month. One of the men can be seen talking on a cell phone. They all then gather around a door and go in. Another video clip shows men forcing a door open.
This is a picture of gang members breaking into a vacant apartment so they could move a Venezuelan family in and then collect rent. This is our business plan, one gang member told a housekeeper. If he, the property manager, doesn't like it, we'll fill him with bullets.
Police in the region say a Venezuelan gang known as Tren de Aragua has victimized thousands through extortion, drug and human trafficking, kidnapping, and murder. Alvaro Boza, a former Venezuelan police officer now living in Florida, says he fled his country in large part because the gang had become so powerful they could kill law enforcement like him with impunity. Boza says a fellow police officer who refused to cooperate with the gang was shot 50 times. Now, U.S. law enforcement, including Customs and Border Protection and the FBI, say the gang has made their way into the country.
Members have been tied to hundreds of crimes, from assaulting NYPD officers and a murder in Miami to shooting two different NYPD cops who were trying to arrest one of its members in June.
We hear from the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, the 12-year-old allegedly assaulted and killed in June by two illegal migrants. New court documents revealed they were a part of a Venezuelan gang.
Tren de Aragua has given their members the green light to attack and kill police officers in Denver.
We went out to some of Chicago's most violent neighborhoods to meet with current and former gang members who tell us that TDA first showed up when the city opened up migrant shelters in these areas, and that now the Venezuelans are trying to move in.
The city nonprofits have lined up to help the migrants that have come here, but nobody is helping the American citizens, the residents that are trapped.
They told us that they really couldn't do anything unless something happened. It is not by any means an isolated occurrence, unfortunately. I call 911, no help comes from me. No help. We were on our own and we were left to die.
As far as local law enforcement, I believe at this point that this is far beyond any one local law enforcement agency taking this on, and we need our state and federal partners to step in at this point.
Thank you. And I think this is the single biggest problem. Inflation is terrible. The economy is terrible because of inflation. But I will tell you, to me, this is the biggest problem that we have. I think it's number one. They have it at number 3. I don't think it is number 3. I think it's number 1. We have to straighten it out. They're destroying the fabric of our country. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And on day 1, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. We're going to get these criminals out. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered, you know. They have been invaded, and can you imagine? Just as though a foreign enemy was invading, a military was invading, and probably just as vicious or more vicious. And we will put these bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them out of our country, get them the hell out of here fast. To expedite the removal of Trende Aragua gang and MS-13 and all the other gangs that are now loving being in America. They're in America. They're creating havoc. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. Under Kamala, America is a sanctuary for criminal illegal aliens, and I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America. I will end catch and release. I will end all migrant flights. They fly thousands and thousands of migrants into our beautiful farmlands and into our communities that have no idea what's happening right now, but they're starting to find out, and they are devastated. And I will ban all welfare and federal benefits for illegals, and they won't come if you do that. They won't come. Kamala's gross incompetence disqualifies her from being president of the United States. She is unfit for office. Everyone knows it. No one respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. Everyone knows she is a low IQ individual. From humiliating our country in Afghanistan to the war in Ukraine to the nightmare on our border to her inflation catastrophe to her egregious hurricane response, which your state also suffered. Worse since Katrina. They say maybe worse than Katrina. You can ask the people of North Carolina about that. Kamala Harris is a train wreck. I mean, this is a train wreck who has destroyed everything in her path. To make her president would be to gamble with the lives of millions of people. She would get us into World War III because she is too grossly incompetent to do the job, and then all of your sons and daughters will end up getting a draft notice, the thing called the draft. Dad, what's this? Oh, congratulations, you've been drafted into the military. You're going to fight a war against a country that nobody's ever heard of. Isn't it true? Isn't it ridiculous? Our enemies are laughing at her, but if we win, our enemies won't be laughing anymore. They never laughed. They never laughed. If we win, America will be feared and respected again. On issue after issue, Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and we'll fix it very fast. But we are not just running against Kamala. I'd like you to listen to this one because I believe it so strongly. She means nothing. She is purely a vessel. She can't put two sentences together. She's just like we were running against crooked Joe Biden. He was very similar, really. She never told us that. By the way, she put us in great danger because she never told us that. We're running against something far bigger and far more powerful than them, which is a massive, vicious, crooked, radical left machine that runs today's Democrat Party. We know a lot of the people, don't we, huh? Don't we, Marjorie, huh? Mike, we know a lot of those people, and that's what it is. It's a radical, vicious, sick machine that's become a very permanent fixture in the Democrat Party. It's running the Democrat Party. This is who we're fighting. These are the people who are doing such harm to our country with their open borders policies, their record-setting inflation, their Green New Scam, and everything else they're doing. But we're not going to let it happen any longer. We're going to have the biggest victory in the history of our country on November 5th. We're going to make America great again. And on top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden, which in itself is disqualifying. Please take a look.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
U.S. inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Train de Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
So, if you want to end this disaster, you must get out and you have to vote. We're pleased to be joined today by Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. Thank you, Burt. Great job. Members of Congress, great people, warriors, really. Elise Stefanik. Elise, thank you, honey. Thank you. Great job. Rich McCormick. Thank you, Rich. Thank you. Mike Collins. Thank you. Great job, Mike. Andrew Clyde. Thank you, Andrew. These are great people. Jason Smith. Great guy. Great guy. And a very quiet person, Marjorie Taylor Greene, respected by everybody, by the way. And the next congressman, thanks, Marjorie, and the next congressman from Georgia's 3rd Congressional District, Brian Jack, he's great. Also a woman, a friend of mine, a great person, former Senator Kelly Loeffler. Thank you, Kelly. She's doing a great job. And Doug Collins, one of my really good friends. Thank you, Doug. A courageous man, State Senator Brandon Beach. Thank you, Brandon. Georgia GOP Chairman, I'm going to like him, I think, in 7 days so much. I like him now, but boy, am I going to like him. Josh McCoon. Thank you, Josh. I'm going to like him. Josh, are we doing well? It's looking good? Looking good, huh? I hear it's looking good. And the founder of conserve the culture, Michaela Montgomery. Where's Michaela? She is something. She is a good person. I also want to send our prayers to everyone here in Georgia and other states still recovering from the recent hurricanes. It's unbelievable. I want to thank you, Governor, too. He's done a very good job. Very good job. We appreciate it very much. It's great. And if I win, you will get the support that you so desperately need, support that you're waiting for. Here are the facts. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas herself. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. And anybody who wants to defund the police for even 1 week is not worthy of being president of the United States. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She wants to ban fracking. And as California Attorney General, she redefined sex, child trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. Nobody's giving up their gun, I don't think. And she even called for free sex changes for illegal alien in detention, if you're an illegal alien in detention. And importantly, at taxpayer expense, by the way. And she lied about working at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's. On top of all this, in conclusion, take a look. She wants to turn our military woke. I don't think that's happening. Go ahead.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face. Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face!
To the perpetuators, work towards a spirit of not just tolerance, but a spirit of acceptance.
Are you sure, sir? Yes, sir!
Of inclusion across all groups in the military.
You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit!
What Pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army.
Looks to me like the best part of you ran down to crack your mama's ass and ended up as the brown stain on the mattress!
We must set our sights higher and focus on intentional inclusivity, because there are still far too many people out there, not just LGBTQ individuals, that feel marginalized.
Happy Transgender Day of Visibility.
You little maggot! You make me want to vomit!
Gender identity issues are somewhat new. We all need to stand together against bullying and public attack.
You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and shut down your neck!
According to regulation, men are allowed to wear clear nail polish while on duty. When I'm in uniform, this makes me feel a bit more feminine because my hands feel pretty when my nails are painted.
Why is your footlocker unlocked? Sir, I don't know, sir! Private Kyle, if there is one thing in this world that I hate, it is an unlocked footlocker! You know that, don't you? Sir, yes, sir!
Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25. Sir, aye, sir! I love working for Uncle Sam! I love working for Uncle Sam! Let me know just who I am! Let me know just who I am!
We won 2 world wars. We won everything. But they're not going woke. Our people are not. I know them very well. We defeated ISIS, and we did it in record time, a very few number of weeks. They said it was going to take 5 years. We did it in weeks. They're not going anywhere. In conclusion, with your vote this November, we're going to fire Kamala, and we're going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to Georgia. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a missile defense shield, all of it made in the USA, with a lot made right here. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. And I will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We're not going to be overrun by anybody. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. And we will bring back the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. And that's where we are right now. So you need to get out and vote. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. Remember, it was hard-working patriots like you who built this country. And 8 days from now, it is hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all, we've been together and we have been through a lot. We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise and we will take back the nation that we love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down, and we will never, ever surrender. Together we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you. God bless you. Go out and vote, Georgia. Go out and vote. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.